Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. In this one we are going to work on another tricky model. This is the result. Let me show you the wireframes. By the way, let me bring this up so that you can take a screenshot and use the image as an image plane. So if you are ready, let's get into it. I will start with the image plane firstly. So let's go to the front view, hit Shift and V on the keyboard, and let's go to the back and click on this folder icon and select the image. I will increase up the transparency. By the way, let me know why the images that I load into the Cinema 4D look quite dark. I mean, this is the image that I just loaded in and you can see the difference. I suppose it is about the color space, but I couldn't figure out a way to fix that issue. So if you know how to do that, let me know. Anyways, let me increase up the transparency and add in a cylinder to the scene. I will go into model mode and adjust the rough shape and size. I will model the bottom lastly, so I will stop around here. Okay, that looks fine, and now let's start to work on the segments. First thing first, we don't need the caps, so I will turn that option off. I will go back to the object. 4 segments for the height segments will be more than enough. But we need to work on the rotation segments. 16 might be too much, so I will go down to, say, 12. Actually, there are 2 main reasons why I am setting this to 12. The first one is, obviously, it is going to make the mesh a bit lighter to work on, so that we can add in that cut in the middle easily. And the other thing is that, if you look at the bottom of the bottle, you can see that that detail repeats around 4 times. Which means that I need to divide 12 by 4. It is going to give me 3 polygons, and it is going to be more than enough for me to model up the bottom. Actually, let me show you. I will make this editable, and then I will select those polygons. I will hold on Ctrl and deselect every 3rd polygon. This is going to give me that selection pattern, which will allow us to model the bottom part. We will get that part later on, so let me hit Ctrl Z and start to adjust those points. What I want to do is quite simple. I want to scale those loops around until I mesh the bottle in the image. Alright, that looks more than enough. Now we can start to work on that cut in the middle. Right click, line cut tool. I will turn off visible only so that I can cut through. I will start from that point and I will simply follow the cut. I will tap E to exit the tool. I will orbit around the mesh just to make sure that everything is fine. Okay, next up, I can start to clean up the mesh, and just to make the process a bit easier, I will delete that half, then grab the polygonpen tool and start to connect the points. Let's go to the front view. I believe it is easier to see. And you can see we have a triangle. To fix it, I will simply merge that point into that one. This one is looking fine. This one is looking fine, but if you look down, you can see that we have a triangle. To get rid of it, I will select the line cut tool. I will start from that point and add in those edges. Then I will grab polygonpen tool, hold down Ctrl and get rid of that edge. To fix that triangle issue over here, now let's move up. We have another triangle. To fix that, I will select those edges and dissolve them. You may ask, why didn't you apply the same technique over here? Well, the answer is I want to keep that area as low as possible to manipulate that shape, that detail easier. I will move up. I will go into points mode. Connect that point to that one. We have 2 endguns over here. To fix them, I will select the line cut tool again and add in those edges. Let's enable single line. Okay, we have another triangle. So to fix it, we have 2 options. I can straight up merge those edges like so. But the problem is that if I do that, I will not have enough resolution around here to hold up the curvature. So for that reason, I will start from that point and go down. And then I will hold on Control and get rid of that edge. Now we have all quads. I just need to even out those edges. So I will right click and apply the equal spacing tool. I will apply the same tool to those edges. Right click, equal spacing tool. I will also select those edges. I don't want to include these ones because if I turn them into points, you can see that these points are part of the detail and we don't want to change that. So I will just select them, right click and apply the equal spacing tool. Next up, we can drop this one into a symmetry along the z-axis. I will enable the weld option and let me check out the surface. I mean the outline of the bottle. Right now it doesn't look very well. We just need to make some adjustments, like we need to move those edges like so, just to match the bottle as accurate as possible. Same here. Now let's make the symmetry editable, because I will select those edges in the middle and move them along their normals. I will do that with the slide tool, hold down shift and slide those edges. I will also scale them up just to get a better match. Okay, it looks fine, which means that we can start to work on the bottom details. So let me double click on them. By the way, before applying the tool, I want to make sure that this is a perfect circle. So right click and apply the fit circle tool. I will scale this down and then hold down Control, extrude these in. To close the hole, I will use the close polygon hole tool. Let's set this to grid or the patch so that I can rotate this around. I will set this to -1. Okay, now the flow is aligned with the world. Next up, as I said, I will deselect every third edge. And this is going to give us that pattern. I just want to make sure that this is the correct one. It seems like it is not, so I will select those ones. Okay, this is the right, so I will hold on Control, extrude them down and then scale. Next up, let's select those ones in the middle, scale them. And lastly, it seems like we need to angle those edges like so. So I will select all of them and slide them just a bit, not too much. It is time to drop this one into a subdivision surface. I will hold on Alt, drop this one in. Actually, before making further adjustments, let me finish off the model. I will go to the top, select those edges, hold on Control, one more time, extrude this. I will make a loop selection, tap T, scale tool, hold on Control, extrude these out. Then I will go back to those edges, scale them, hold on Control, extrude them up. Okay, now let's enable subdivision surface. Right now it is quite rough. I mean, we need to tighten up some parts. Let's start from the bottom. I will make a loop selection. And then to tighten up, I will bevel them. So let's enable subdi and bevel them out with 0 subdivision. We need to get rid of those triangles, and I will do that by setting this option to uniform. You can adjust this to your liking. If you want something smooth, you can increase up the offset. If you want something tight, you can do something like that. In our case though, we need something like that, not too tight. Okay, now let's move up. The next one is those edges. So I will select them. Then right click, bevel. This time around, I need more tightness. If I enable subdivision surface and bevel these out with 0 subdivision, this is the maximum amount of sharpness that I can get from the bevel. But to increase up that sharpness, I will go into the solid mode and bevel these out. By switching to the solid mode, I basically add in one extra loop, therefore it results in more tightness. Let's move up and add in those ones. Okay, this is going to be it for the rough shape. Now we need to dive deep into the problems. The biggest problem we are having right now is those areas. If I change my view, it is going to be more apparent around here. And the main reason is the resolution we started off is not capable of supporting those curvy details. If you look at that cut, it's quite curvy and it adds in a little bit tension on those points. And it is quite easy to tell by just looking at the shapes of those polygons. These are quite stretched. So to fix that, I will go to the top view with NNA, enable the subdivision surface. Yeah, now it is more apparent. Around here we are having some surface artifacts. To fix that, I will select those ones and scale them along the Z. Now I will select those ones. And those ones. And finally, I'm going to select that point because it seems like this is the one that's adding that tension to the surface. Set the direction, I mean the orientation of the axis to normal, and move that point like so. The more I move that point out, the better the surface gets. You can spend more time getting these perfect, but I believe we are looking pretty good over here. Maybe, just maybe we can select those ones and scale them for the last time to reduce that stress. I will also increase up my resolution. If you find those edges too sharp, you can dissolve out the loop in the middle. That might be too soft though, so maybe we can select those ones, I'm in that loop, inside, and slide them. I am still not vibing that area, so maybe we can move that point like so. Again, I'm doing this to reduce the stress. Okay, that looks way better. I mean, this is quite natural to get that artifacts for the reasons that I tried to explain. We are trying to add in too many details, too complex details to allow polymesh. But you can get around these problems by moving things around. Okay, let me finally model delete. I will make a loop, then split these out. I will just enable this option. I don't want to delete these polygons from the original mesh. Then what I need to do is select all the polygons, scale them along the normals with the normal move tool. I will scale them up. Hold down Control, scale these in, close polygon hole tool. I want to align those edges with the world, so let's do something like that. And finally, I mean not finally, but we need to extrude these polygons in with the extrude tool. I will enable the caps option, extrude those in. I will solo it. I will select those edges, move this down, and we need some beveling going on here. So I will bevel them out in the chamfer mode. Then I will add in that edge loop to support the bevel. Then I will need another one. Let me group them. I will also rename those to lead and bottle. The lead needs some loops like those ones, and maybe that one to have a more uniform surface. Let me turn up the solo mode. Now I will make my final adjustments to the bottle. I will select it. I will go into points mode. This is important, I will deselect everything, then right click and then grab the brush tool. I will adjust the size of it by clicking on the middle mouse. Okay, I believe this is going to be it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next ones. Bye.